let's go meet Kurt in front of the palace. Got our fancy clothes on. So this is the once a great trade capital, a great center for arts, for the world. But the 20 years of disease, the plague that has come, that has taken our mother, or she's very sick with it at least.
It's done.
Sorry, Greenblood. Look, we can see the masts of the ship that'll be taking us. This is one sacred adventure we're embarking on.
I hope this island will keep its promises.
In order to know that, we'll need to find Constantine first.
You're right. Maybe he's already at the port. He was so eager to leave.
This will be quite the chore to finish before our departure. The commander wants to recover some merchandise from our supplier, but the transporter doesn't want to deliver. I did all I could to persuade. Nothing came of it. All the parliamenting fatigues me. But this is your domain. I wouldn't say no to a little help.
Of course. Where is the supplier?
In the lower boroughs, near the port.
Right then. We'll put it on our list of visits.
Team setup. Add Kurt to the team. Kurt is a melee combat master and can wear heavy armor.
Where would you like to begin?
I've been asked to pay visits to the ambassadors of Ptolemy and the Bridge Alliance before our departure. Their dwellings are not far from here. We could go there first.
Very well. Do you think Constantine will be waiting for us next to the ship?
I don't know, but it's certainly worthy of inspection.
43 meters that way, so we need to get down the elevation. Trying to see if we could jump or anything, but no prompts. All right, let's try and run. Okay, you've got to long press it. Speak to passerby. What's up?
Sire, I'm sorry. I'm afraid that I won't make for good company.
Okay, you were standing there waving both your arms in the air. You clearly don't care. It's definitely a little on. Ooh. What's this? Oh, lovely. 3 gold coins. I mean, for me? Oh, thanks. Love that little hawthorn. Who knows what that is? Wow. I mean, it became a real... Oh. Whoa.
And death to the others!
Wait a second. Who are these guys?
Move away!
I mean, they really just jumped us here in the alleys. For now, we'll take everything, although we can sell it, I guess. I don't know. A bandit hat. These are bandits. We got jumped by bandits? Wow. This is a rough town.
Greenblood, do you need something?
I wondered if you ever felt lonely.
I always do. Why, do you want to rectify this?
I hope to have kept you good company for all these years. After all, we were always together.
And I valued your friendship. But I thought you were referring to another kind of company. And to be honest, you and Constantine aren't exactly my type.
Okay, then. I mean, just one street down from the princess, our mother. We've got diseased corpses in the wagon, broken down. We've got this guy just hanging out here in the corner. Jumped by bandits. Wow. I just definitely was not expecting to immediately be accosted by bandits, nonetheless. The city's just so grim. What was that? Oh, man. I can see how... I mean, look, all the streets are paved. The houses are kind of shockingly nice. But I'll tell you what. I mean, look, there's these, like, public fountains here. What would otherwise be a nice neighborhood. Rough. All right. Coin Guard Barracks, Port, Tavern, Bridge Alliance. Talk to these guys. They look busy. One of those let us go upstairs, see what they stop us. Oh, there's a rope.
Greetings, Your Excellency.
Hello. Oh, sorry, guy. Speak to Cardinal Antonius.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tirfredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
Legate.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it, and perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place. We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You're hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do.
Quick question here. What is your relationship with the Bridge Alliance?
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front. Without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Tirfredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
Okay, and your position on these other guys?
How is Thélème faring on Tirfredi?
We built a marvelous city, San Mateus, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult, disgusting creatures. But I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end to these horrors. And we have tremendous hopes that the entire native population will join our ranks.
Interesting. And the congregation of merchants?
What's your point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassador of Thélème, I can only rejoice at the mention of our commercial treaties. We appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints. That heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
And yourself.
Could you tell me anything about Thélème?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Mateus, our founder and greatest prophet. And give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Thélème are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah, you must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminous and the more political orders. The Lord Luminous has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
So a quick breakdown about these Thélème guys we're talking to. They are as you can tell, a deeply religious organization. But in their world, in this faction, your magical power is your political power. Like, they're the magicians. And that's why when we ask them about the Bridge Alliance, they're like, yeah, we don't get along. The Bridge Alliance are the opposite. They're like, your scientific power is your political power and whatnot. And so we're a member of the Congregation of Merchants, but the tier Frede, okay, that's the landmass that we just discovered. And these Teleme guys who we're talking to, they believe this new landmass is their destiny to, like, take over. They're probably trouble.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, Desade.
So they want us to find the smuggler that's smuggling the heretics. Cardinal Antonius has been the Teleme ambassador for several years. He is a cunning man, but also a man of faith who has not given up on the hope of converting the largest city of the congregation, remember the Congregation of Merchants, that's us, to his faith. Although a member of the missionary order, like many ambassadors, he is said to be close enough to the Inquisition and has often been seen collaborating with the most extreme defenders of the faith. Yikes. Going to check on the heretics. If we can. One point into science, darn. Not expecting that. So far, so good. Okay. Then we find the heretics.
Who is there?
May the Illuminated save us. Did the smuggler send you?
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison, but revealed to me your hiding place.
Wait, what?
The traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Teleme so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
What's your research about?
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it would provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias. The one who returned to Teleme after traveling with his master.
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Teofredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Teofredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, St. Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the Illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth, which convinced St. Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
What was your escape plan?
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
Okay.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could forget what you have discovered, perhaps.
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
I see.
Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
Okay. We can arrest them, let them be on their way, or proceed to speak to the Bridge Alliance ambassador. Ew. How do we know they're not just lying? How do we know this whole thing isn't just made up? Man, we're in way over our head here. We were asked to find them and bring them in. We're going to do that.
I am sorry for you, but I must arrest you and hand you over to the ambassador of Thélème.
We might be two poor historians, but we will not surrender ourselves to the fire without a fight.
Wait a second.
To my help!
Wait. Are we fighting?
Death to the others!
Why are we fighting? What if we didn't?
Poor buggers. I understand them. Better to die weapon in hand than on a flaming pyre.
Now let's go and inform the Cardinal that their heretics are dead.
I'm not sure this was our best move. But we did it. I don't know that he's going to be happy that we found his heretics and left them the way we did.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sardet, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I was able to find the heretics you seek. Alas, they preferred death to capture.
What a pity. But that hardly surprises me. What have you done with their bodies, my son?
I left them in the Nauts warehouses. I'm certain they would be more than happy to return them to you.
Very well. Very well. You have done a great favor to our nation, and we shall not forget it. And I would appreciate it if you would accept this modest gift as thanks.
1000 XP. Reputation with these faction +3.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sardet.
Let's go negotiate with the vendors. Looks like it's just going to be straight this way. Hopefully it won't be too problematic.
The merchant is there.
Oh, thanks, Kurt. I love this little canal. This is nice. Oh, there they are.
Good day, good sir. How might I be of service?
So I wonder
You
if
can
going
start by
blind is part of the
explaining to me why you
disease.
refuse to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, sir. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
This is inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just an agent, and I'm only obeying orders.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agree to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendant seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders. Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You're demanding a second payment but refuse to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
So we can threaten a prison sentence. Let's try it.
I don't think you understand who you're dealing with. Perhaps I failed to present myself properly. Lord de Sardet, nephew of the Prince d'Orsay and legate of the Congregation of Merchants. During our conversation, you explained to me that your master forced you to commit a crime. That's regrettable, especially as you will be considered his accomplice in extortion, theft. You know as well as I that the congregation does not tolerate such illegal activities.
But I'm only obeying orders.
That is a shame. Well, as orders are the only language you seem to understand, I order you to return the guard the merchandise, without delay. Unless you'd rather your master is hung and that you finish your days in prison.
Successful
As you
use of
request, my lord.
charisma.
I shall go immediately and ask that these crates be delivered to the attendant.
Now that's a wise decision.
Thank you. I was beginning to think this would never end. You're certainly honoring your new title. Bravo! The quartermaster must be expecting us.
We're here to inform Coin Guard that we got the supplies for our journey. Speak to quartermaster.
Sir de Sardet, I presume. It is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes, we were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier D as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well, now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less, illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Yikes. Put us in an awkward spot.
So you're back. Right then. What about our business?
I regret to say that the cargo is still on the docks.
Huh. Kurt, it seems to me that the orders were clear.
They are.
Just a rough place. Looks like there's someone to talk to.
I still don't see Constantine at your side.
Oh.
I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Will you be in need of my help in any way?
What will be your official title on Tier D? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master. I need to be leaving. I have quite a few things to do before we raise anchor.
All right, good enough.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen.
Wow.
I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see him where last?
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
So he said the Nauts. The Nauts are another faction. The Nauts are specifically the guild of navigators that cross the seas. That's their whole thing.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nauts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Tell me more about the Nauts, your group.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nauts master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nort from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nauts for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
And tell me about the port here.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Malachor's the disease. And tell me about the new land.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming. It will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
Makes sense.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Yeah, it's not what I'm here about something
I have
else.
a favor to ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel...
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten it into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Teofredi. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse, and noted on the manifest, will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurd. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to dock to the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office.
Zones controlled by other faction. This zone is under control of another faction. Certain places are forbidden for you. A costume of the faction will allow you to trick the guards. You can also try stealth, but if the guard spots you, it will be violence. Let's go ahead. Switch to the sailor's coat. We've now disguised ourselves as a Naut.
Do you have any idea how to get in there without being noticed?
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs.
Upstairs, okay. This will be quite a bit of fighting to get through, excuse us. They're gonna be upset if we loot this, you think? Lockpicking. Okay, we don't have any lockpicking, I don't think. Harbor Master's office. Lockpicking required. Maybe we can find a key? Nobody's in here. Loot that action. Some of this, if we can. Lockpicking. Your lockpicking skill is not high enough. Okay. Nobody's here. Key to the harbor jails. Oh, that could come in handy. Wow. All right, then.
Here's the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
They still want us to clear out some warehouse guards. Interesting. So we needed them more than just... No, those keys don't open that. We needed them more than just mess with the manifest. Clear out these guards, apparently. Are guards going to be members of this faction, you think? Clear out warehouse guards. Uh-oh.
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're the relay. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties. The path is clear. We should notify the men. They need all the time they can get.
Okay. All right, this guy should be pretty thrilled with our job. I think we've done really excellent work here.
So you're back. Right then. What about our business?
We can guarantee that your merchandise will leave with us.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And bravo, Kurt. The commander will be most pleased.
The cargo shall make the voyage. But who will be at its reception once it's arrived?
That shall be your next mission. Once you've reached New Serene, go and find the quartermaster. He will give you new instructions. Until then, I wish you a safe and pleasant voyage, Your Excellency. Kurt, good luck.
I thought we would get something more than good luck for that. Okay, we need to talk to the Coin Guard Barracks quartermaster once we land on the other side. Oh, man.
If you had any idea who I am. Open up, imbeciles! I have a ship to catch!
Oh no, Constantine.
Yes, that's Constantine's voice. It's coming from the upper floor. It sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling they're expecting company. Be careful. The slightest itchy word to these brutes will have them drawing blades to scratch it.
Negotiation may be the solution. As you say, this breed of brutes won't spit on ransom money.
What a waste. I'd rather sneak around them than give half a coin to these seedy fellows.
It was actually an accident. The whole finding Constantine thing. We were trying to make our way back towards... Ooh, enemy detection. Players in stealth, a detection indicator above head. If you trigger, the presence indicator will fill up. Suspicious in yellow, detected in red. I don't know what they're about, but... I see there's two on the left over there, one right here. Really sure how stealth works, but we're trying. Okay. We start a fight indoors. Will that get everyone to run out, you think? Stairs going up. Lock picking, but we can use a key. We do not have a key to open. Okay. 7 gold coins. Wow. So there might be a coin around here we could try and find. Let's check the downstairs here in case we need to make a fast escape. I see. So if you had a point in the science, you would have been able to bust through this wall here. Which would have avoided all the stealth and the sneaking and whatnot. And criminal keys. Perfect. Let's unblock this door. Gives us a way out. Well, and then if we have the keys, we can go back to that chest. Perfect. So we obviously could have lockpicked the chest as well. It said lockpicking, but we don't have any lockpicking. So getting the keys, though, is pretty good. I'm really looking forward to not having to have lockpicking. Now, we lost a key for that. I hope we're not going to need these keys for something. Upstairs we go. Okay. Don't see anyone. I feel like I hear someone right here. Maybe they're outside. Key to the cell. Okay. Thought we might find some notes on why they took this Constantine guy. We may never know. 2 gold coins. Door. And the cell. Open the door first. Not a lot going on in here. 9 more coins. 5 more coins. All right. Let's go try and free Constantine here.
Well, this has been monumentous, gentlemen, but I have more important things to attend to. An island to govern, treaties to sign, Riches to expedite, and a demanding father to impress!
Constantine, it's me!
My dear cousin! Oh, my lucky star! Always there to pull me out of my fires.
Well, I do what I can. We're departing soon. Your father wasn't pleased by your absence this morning.
Have you ever seen him happy about anything when it comes to me? You know what he thinks of me.
He cares about you, I know that. He appointed you governor, didn't he?
He is ridding himself of a source of constant disappointment. Enough said. Today we set sail for adventure.
Okay. Select Constantine from the inventory screen and equip him with an outfit. His outfit.
If you only knew how these river scum treated me. Do me a courtesy, good cousin.
Go.
Now that we stand boldly alongside the brave Kurt, let's give them their money's worth.
There we go.
They haven't spotted us.
Nice.
We could sneak out of here silently. We have a ship to board.
You've always been the reasonable soul. Don't you think these brutes deserve a punishment?
Yes, without a doubt. But don't you think there are more pressing matters?
Kurt, it is your highness's decision to make. Whatever it is, I shall follow.
Oh, what were we deciding here? Sorry. All right, Constantine, son of the mighty prince, and his second wife. He's our cousin. We've known him since childhood. We've always been close. He's despised by his father, who seems to regret the death of his first son. You are probably the only true friend and confidant that Constantine has. Constantine, although very intelligent, his whimsical temperament often made him look like an inconsistent boy until the day his father finally decided to put him to the test by naming him governor of the young colony of the Congregation on Tierfried. Okay. Those are some big boots to fill. Right there, I'll tell you what. Picked up a hoof fungus. Okay, yum. Delicious. It looks like and it is time for combat. I just wanted to switch my weapon here.
To my help, and death to the others!
Oh boy. Gotcha.
Things are about to get dicey.
You're welcome. Is that everybody? And let's do some looting here. Old bandit hat. Key to Constantine's cell. Sure. 2 gold coins. Worth. Another gold coin. Yeah, we probably made like 100 gold this run. Just to free the old boy. Well, I really like this little introduction here, where they basically have made sure we have a little spending money. Introduce us to most of the main factions. And introduce like the disease, right, tied it into the sick mother. I think this is just a really lovely opening. We've got this plague going on. We're back at the bar where the cabin boy was abducted from.
Good day, tavern keeper.
Can I pour you anything? It's you. But I didn't recognize you, my scruffy young pup.
Constantine.
You put this place to shambles last night.
I am quite sorry about that. I'm afraid I let the festive spirit get the better of me.
Better of you? You broke everything. If you think for a second that I'm...
Come on now. Don't be angry about such trivialities. I'm certain we can make amends. Now, what can I do? The contents of this pouch should be worth your forgiveness. What do you say?
Forgiven and even forgotten, your lordship. Whatever can I do for you?
All right, couple of things. How's the business?
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late, things are looking better. The Malicor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Tell me about the Malicor.
Has the Malicor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People were still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Yeah, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
Interesting. And the new island?
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Tierfried.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man-trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock, and the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
All right, cabin boy.
I'm looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table.
We have not explored the basement yet. Oh, man. This is a seriously massive building. They really are just down here gambling. Yikes. This place is probably like... I'm gonna say smelly. I mean, we're like 3 levels of basement deep in the Pillow Palace after the gambling done. Then below the bar who shares a wall with the plague camp. Oh my goodness. Talk about prime real estate. All right, Mr. Witness.
I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Tell me about the cabin boy that's missing.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
What happened?
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him, if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Really?
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
Find and confront the kidnappers. Ooh, a treasure chest. Nice. All right. Prepare to be confronted.
Might I help you, sir?
I don't know.
I'd like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sardet. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
Look how green these
like
eyes
to have
are.
a word
Wow.
with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion.
Yeah?
The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
Why would the Nauts have taken your son to begin with?
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through.
Sir? Constantine d'Orsay,
Whoa,
future
whoa,
governor
whoa.
of Tir Fredi. I'm enchanted, Captain. I am eager to board your ship.
Enchanted as well, Your Highness. I hope you enjoy your voyage. Are you ready to leave?
No.
Not quite. I still have a few errands to run for my uncle. What about you?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Yikes. Yeah, I mean, this is problematic. What a bleak society where you have nations trading away unborn citizens to work on these ships. I mean, this is a grim thing.
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nauts.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there has always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nauts. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange.
Wow.
From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nauts?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Clearly.
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nauts as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few
Yikes.
boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiry yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
Come on now, stop lying. Jonas was taken away by force against his will by armed men.
That is not true. Completely false. He...
Enough! With every word, you are a step closer to a prison cell.
Prison? But what would be the charges?
Kidnapping. Whether Jonas is your son or not, he is a Naut that you kidnapped and locked up. In the eyes of the prince, you have committed a crime that puts the interests of the congregation at great risk.
I beg of you, Your Excellency. Have mercy on a poor mother who is looking only to recover her child. We didn't kidnap our own son. And if you need to speak with him to be convinced, please do. He's in our warehouse, near the Coin Guard Plaza, next to the canal. I am certain that once you have heard his account, you will see the tragedy in our predicament and help us.
Here's a problem. So we lost one relationship with the she's like, I'm not a part of this. We lost 1 point in the relationship with the merchants for pushing on them like that, which is good to know. Let's see if there's something we can do to try and improve that point, maybe.
What are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Nauts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Nauts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine?
Now, let's tell him what Sir DC told us.
I looked into the contract that binds you to the Nauts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before. Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Nauts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in this story, don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You're not leaving me with a choice.
Very well.
+2 reputation.
Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Nauts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
Warehouse basement key. So that was their big plan. They kidnap him, and then they lock him up here until the ship leaves harbor, right? Doesn't seem like the most well thought out plan. Try again. Guess who?
Who are you?
My name is de Sardet. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes. Even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seemed so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Nauts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Good job, boss. That is officially the final. We could blast through this door, we could lockpick this door, or we could diplomacy through this door. Interesting.